So the prostaglandin F2, what is its effect? It affects on the smooth muscle of various part of the body and cause contraction of the smooth muscle in the various part of the body, due to which there will be development of symptoms like nausea, vomiting and headache. That symptoms are called as dysmenorrhea. It is also called as menstrual cramp. It is also called as menstrual cramp. So when we see about the bleeding aspect, the normal blood loss will be like 30 to 140 ml. If it is less than that, then it is called as hypomenorrhea. If it is more than that, then we'll call it as menorrhagia. And what is amenorrhea? Amenorrhea is complete cessation, means for a small duration of time. If it has been stoppage of menstrual phase or menstrual bleeding, usually this happens physiologically during pregnancy and lactation, and pathological conditions are many where you can see this also. And complete cessation of menstrual cycle occurs after menopause. Let's start with the hormones. Okay, female reproductive hormones. So I just like to say the secretion of hormone during the menstrual phase or menstrual cycle. Consider this line as a ovulation. Okay. So what's happened prior to ovulation and after ovulation? Let's start with the estrogen. See, just 48 hours before ovulation, the estrogen concentration increases. And again at the ovulation time, it decreases. And again, 48 hours after ovulation, again the estrogen concentration increases and again it falls down. So this is about the estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone concentration before ovulation does not increase. So its concentration increase only 4 to 5 days after ovulation. 4 to 5 days after ovulation. So it will be more than that of estrogen. Then take about LH. So what happened to LH? See here, there is increase. We can talk about the day symptom. 2 days before, 2 days after, 4 to 5 days after ovulation. Let's take about the LH. Just 12 hours before ovulation, there will be increase in LH concentration. That is called as LH surge. And after 1 day after ovulation, 1 day after ovulation and 12 hours before ovulation, there is increase in LH concentration, and 1 day after there will be decrease. You can say 24 hours also. What about FSH? It will also show the same pattern like LH, but its concentration is less compared to LH. Okay, it will increase after 1 day or after 24 hours after ovulation, concentration decrease. Okay. Similarly, inhibin A pattern resemble that of progesterone, and inhibin B pattern resemble with that of FSH. Let's talk about the estrogen progesterone hormone individually. So what are the forms of estrogen? What are the forms of estrogen? Again, forms are estradiol, estrone and estrione. And what are the forms of progesterone? Okay, progesterone is 19 carbon compound, and another form which is present in small quantity is 17 alpha hydroxyprogesterone. So from where? Source. What are the source? Source are corpus luteum, placenta, and most important ovarian follicle. And from that also granulosa cells secrete enormous amount of estradiol. Here also the source of secretion is same. Corpus luteum, progesterone, and ovarian follicle. After the release, circulating forms. So 2% will be free and 60% will bound to albumin. And what about the rest? 38%. 38% will bound to sex hormone binding protein. Here 2% will be free, 80% will bound to albumin, and 18% will bound to corticotropic hormone binding protein. Corticotropic hormone binding protein. So once it releases, it moves into the blood, and what happens in the metabolization? It is metabolized by liver and excreted by the kidney. Same, metabolized by the liver, excreted by the kidney. So what are the functions it performs? We have studied in detail about the functions, okay? So in proliferative phase as well as in the luteal phase. The proliferative phase is been dominant because of the estrogen. So what are the changes you will see in the uterus? The endometrial proliferation, okay, hypertrophy as well as hyperplasia of the endometrium. Hypertrophy and hyperplasia is due to estrogen. And what about these blood vessels? The blood vessel will become increase in size and they will become coiled, okay, because of estrogen. Then what about the glands? The glands increase in size and lengthening will occur. And what about cervix? There is increased cervical mucosa, increase in volume, alkalinity, increase in volume, increase in alkalinity, and increase in elasticity. Okay, this elasticity has one of the role, okay, to detect the period of ovulation. We will learn in that ovulation what is spin barricade test and Fern test. And what about the vagina? These under the effect of estrogen, cornification and keratinization is increased. So the effect of progesterone usually seen in the luteal phase. What you will see, the endometrium thickness is increases. There is increase in vascularity of the endometrium, and the blood vessel will become more coiled and tortuous. And in the veins, you can see venous lakes and anastomosis because of the progesterone, and the glands will also become more tortuous and coiled. And cervix, what happened to the cervix? Cervical mucosal secretion decreases and it will become thick. Same with the vaginal proliferation of epithelium. Vaginal epithelium will get proliferate and cornification, or you can say keratinization decreases. Keratinization decreases in this part. And about myometrium excitability is increased due to estrogen, whereas myometrium excitability is reduced in luteal phase. This is in proliferative phase, is reduced due to progesterone. So what are the other effects of estrogen? Okay, if you take some endocrinal function, it causes release in angiotensinogen. So you know the TRAS mechanism. Angiotensinogen will get converted into angiotensin 1 to 2. This will cause release of aldosterone and ADH, due to which there is retention of water and salt. As well as it will increase the thyroid binding protein. It will increase the concentration of thyroid binding protein. What this will do, the progesterone, the effect is it will decrease the production of aldosterone. So what happened, due to which it will counter the action of aldosterone, due to which there will be natriuresis, means loss of sodium through urine. And the next function is on the CNS. You can take about the CNS. So because of this, there will be increase in ECF, increase in blood pressure. But which blood pressure will increase? That is systolic blood pressure. Here, what it will do, natriuresis it is causing. It also causes vasodilation, peripheral vasodilation. So, peripheral vasodilation will lead to decrease in the diastolic blood pressure. So, which is one of the characteristic feature of a pregnancy. Usually in normal pregnancy, you won't see increase in the blood pressure. Why? Because the progesterone will cause peripheral vasodilation, which cause decrease in the diastolic blood pressure. And when you see the effect on the central nervous system, here the effect is like same. It will cause proliferation of dendrites of the neurons. Okay. And what are the other effect you are seeing over here is in progesterone, it will increase the temperature, thermogenic action usually seen at the time of ovulation. There will be increase in temperature of about 0.5 degrees centigrade. It is due to progesterone, because immediately after the ovulation, you will see a peak or increase in secretion of the progesterone. It will produce thermogenic effect, and as well as it will increase respiratory rate, and it also cause tachypnea. Increase the respiratory rate. Okay. And what is one of the characteristic feature is cholesterol lowering effect, which cause decrease in the LDL and increase in the HDL concentration. The opposite function will be performed by the progesterone. It will decrease the HDL and increase the LDL concentration. And the another hormone, I'm just like to give you a brief description of another hormone, that is relaxin. You know about relaxin, which is one of the female reproductive hormone. The name itself says it will relax. The hormone is a polypeptide and it is similar to insulin like growth factor. And what does this hormone will do? It will relax, literally it will relax the pubic symphysis, pelvic ligaments, pelvic joints, and it causes dilatation of cervix, as well as it will decrease the uterine contraction. So all these symptoms, all these features where you will see. So these hormone will release. There is increase in the release of hormone just before term in the pregnancy. Okay, at the termination of the pregnancy, there will be increase in the release of this hormone relaxin. As the name itself say, it will relax all these things, which helps in the easy expulsion of the fetus. All this will cause easy expulsion of the fetus, so therefore it is released just before the term. And there are another hormone like inhibin. We know that hypothalamus will release gonadotropin releasing hormone. It will act on the ovary, okay, which release LH, anterior pituitary, okay, it will release LH and FSH. LH will act on granulosa cell to release estrogen. This will always have a negative feedback on the anterior pituitary. It will always send a negative feedback to anterior pituitary, but just before ovulation, it will send a positive feedback, due to which LH surge will occur. And what about FSH? Okay, it will act on the, this will release hormone, what? Inhibin. Okay, this inhibin will send negative feedback, due to which there is decrease in the FSH secretions. There will be decrease in the FSH secretions. And apart from that, few of the androgens hormones are also released by the female reproductive system. And what is the functions of this hormone? Like if you see the estrogen, okay, in estrogen, it will lead to the development of hairs in the scalp, enormous development of hair in the scalp and less hair on the body. It is due to estrogen. Okay, and as well as you will see the development of pubic hair, base at the apex, base at the top and apex below. So the pubic hair development in triangular fashion, base above and apex down. Why? Because of the estrogen. But when these androgens or hormones are also released in the female body, why? because of it will cause the development of the skeletal muscle. Okay, the androgen hormones are also released in the female body to cause the development of the skeletal muscle as well as pattern of hairs. Okay, the pattern of hair. Suppose if these hormones are released in excess, what happens? Again, the female will develop some masculine pattern, means broad shoulder, more skeletal muscle development, hair on the other parts of the body. Usually you won't see the development of hair on other part of the body except scalp in female. But when these androgen hormones are released in excess, you will see the male pattern of development of hair. So this will end the topic of female hormones. Okay, thank you.